Morning, everybody. Morning. It's our last safety meeting of the year. I know how much you guys are going to miss this over the summer. You guys are 7 months with no chargeable accidents. So kudos to you guys. So, just to kind of emphasize what a big deal that is, we go to 11 in-district school buildings, 19 out-of-district school buildings. That doesn't include our 12 Plus program, which we transport to another 9 locations, for a total of 191,600 reg ed miles and 167,700 sped miles, for a total of just shy of 360,000 miles you guys traveled so far this year. That's not field trips. No, if you include field trips, it's about another 150,000 miles that you guys have traveled this year. That is a lot of miles with very few accidents. So, as I promised, on the last day of school, when you guys come back for your routes, I will be out there with burgers and hot dogs, grilling everything up for you guys. Just lunch.
We still got 19 days left.
That is, yeah, I know we do. We still got 19 days, so let's finish it strong. All right, reminders for important dates. Friday, May 15th is early dismissal for Geneva. It's our last one for the year. GHS finals are Wednesday, May 27th, Thursday, May 28th, and Friday, May 29th. We will get those out to you guys soon. The times really don't change a whole lot from any of their other testing times. Geneva's last day of school is June 1st. For those of you that either don't remember or aren't familiar with it, on the last day of school, for the high school, we only do AM routes. There is no PM. That is an optional attendance day for the high school kids, and they're supposed to get their own transportation home if they go. Elementary dismisses at 1:15 instead of 2:15. The elementary lets out an hour early. So that means everybody's going to be clocking in an hour early on that last day. And then middle school dismisses at 1:45. Any questions on that?
We'll send that out.
Yep, we send that out to you guys.
What do you send out?
We always send out the last day of school stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So reminders for the last day. Make sure you guys sweep your buses and get them cleaned up. Empty your garbages. Take all personal belongings with you, and please fuel your buses and DEF if necessary. We don't want them sitting empty or half full over the summer. Remove any food you have from the refrigerator. After the last day of school on June 1st, we're going to go through and we're going to clear everything out. So if you got food in there that's in Tupperware or whatever, it's going to get cleared out if you guys don't take it out. A bunch of you have have been reminding me, you are due in July for your physicals. Before school lets out, I will get you your physical paperwork. So don't worry, I haven't forgotten about you. Our end of the year luncheon is Friday, May 22nd. So we will get a sign-up sheet out here, or get put together for you guys to bring in sides, and we'll have a good party that day.
I have a question.
Yep.
Just everybody's happy to know. Can we go early for our, what's that called, physical? Because mine's in, I don't know, August, September, but I'm gonna be gone a lot.
It has to be within 60 days of when you're due,
Okay.
as early as you can go.
60 days.
Yep. So you can't go any earlier than that, even though they send you the letter 90 days in advance. You can't go any earlier than 60 or they will not accept it.
Okay.
Which is why I don't usually give you guys your paperwork until we hit that point, just to make it easier.
Okay.
Any other questions? Dale?
How much are you paying for a gallon of propane gas?
Right now, in the winter, it was a little bit more, but now that we're not in winter, it fluctuates between $1.60 and I think this last one was $2.09.
Okay, so the oil thing doesn't have any,
Not on the propane, it has
Oh,
no
okay.
effect on that. Our gas prices have been going
Oh, yeah.
significantly up, yeah. We're even paying over $3 a gallon now, and we weren't
Really?
prior to that.
okay, just curious.
Yeah. Now, that does affect us, but not as far as the propane buses go. Any other questions?
A little bit, Mary.
Can we start getting our gas here now? Perk for me.
Yeah, I wish we could do that.
It's a driver's perk, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Any other questions?
Only in 5-gallon cans.
All right, then I'm gonna pass it off to Brandy.
All right, so today, there is no slide, it's all you interacting. So the more you talk, the faster it goes,
Okay.
okay? All right, so 200 days plus accident-free, is it skill or luck? I'm gonna name a scenario, and you guys are gonna talk about it. First, I'm gonna ask any driver or monitor to share their closest call.
Ever?
This year, let's just talk about this year. Close call this year.
Yeah, okay. How about the semis that run through the red lights as you're getting ready to turn? That's fun.
So you got a close call with a semi?
Yeah, you better look before you turn.
Well, I hope you're looking at all times, yes. Anybody else besides Kathy?
Kesslinger was challenging you at Fox with all the signs out. And the sign see a lot of the times.
Hey, Sherry, I didn't hear one word you said. You were talking, fading away, and I didn't hear anything.
All the signs are Kesslinger,
Uh-huh.
turning left, from a box. We had to double check, because I couldn't really see. There was way too many signs out there in construction, and I just waited and waited. And
Okay.
some of the times, there was cars coming, and I had to double check, do the rock back and forth, and thank God I did it.
Okay, so those are more of us trying to look before we go anywhere. Is there any other close calls?
Back to high school. There's always close calls, high school.
I was coming down 47 on the way back, and kind of one of those foggy days, and it just kind of goes around a curve, and all of a sudden there was something in the road. And I just kind of did with my eyes, and the closer I got, it was two horses, they were just coming straight down the middle of the road. Wait for them to move over.
That's a close call. Yes.
Eastbound on 38 heading to the high school, about 2 blocks from Logan. I'm in the left lane approaching, and one of these high school kids is in the right lane, decides to get in the left lane right in front of me and locks them up to turn left with 2 other buses behind me. And I thought we were gonna lose our lunch. But, you heard about that one.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Those high schoolers need practice in driving, yes. Thank you for sharing, thank you. We are gonna talk about, okay, in a medical emergency mid-route, you may have a monitor, you may not. What is the first 3 things you're going to do?
Pull over,
My pants.
Uh-huh.
pull over, call, and then,
Get the student on the floor.
The student.
well, yeah.
I just said medical emergency. So you said pull over, call dispatch, and then what?
Assess.
had a seizure like that one on the floor, correct?
No.
Gotta do what's necessary.
You got it, correct, Rudy, you have to do what's necessary. So depending on where he's at and if he falls over into the window and he's seizing, you really don't want his head bouncing on the window. So you have to assess the situation of whether or not to leave him in the seat or to move him to the floor. But at the same time, if you move him to the floor and you need to do anything with him, you are in limited space unless you have a wheelchair bus and you've got that big old dance floor in the back. Okay, so if you're not got a wheelchair bus, I would suggest leaving him in the seat if necessary. Again, just supporting him and make sure he's in the seat. And that's for a seizure.
Not all seizures are like that, like the one I
Correct.
had at the beginning of the year.
Beginning of the year or last year?
Last year.
It was last year. It was last year in a wheelchair, but correct, not every seizure is the same. So you have to assess the situation. So, student fights while in traffic. What are you gonna do? And Steve, don't ask me for the code, just call over fight. There's really no code. So, when you guys call in to, you say 10-8, 10-9, whatever, there is a code for threats or terrorism, but in all honesty, that's not either, it's a fight. So you call over and say there's a fight. I looked into that, that's why I never gave you an answer, because it's just, tell us you have a fight. You need assistance and things like that. So again, in a fight, what are you going to do? You're not videotaping it, the kids have that already under control. We are not brake checking, we are not trying to hurt anybody else, extra. Again, if you're in traffic, pull over, secure the bus, make sure everybody else is safe and call dispatch. Okay? Possible fire, what are we doing? You smell it, but you don't see it. You smell smoke. Do we evacuate or do we stay on the bus? You smell smoke, but you don't see a fire.
I guess it depends on the smell. If it's electrical and on the bus, I'm gonna get off the bus.
Okay?
If it's when you burn wood somewhere, I'm not gonna be so upset.
Well, we had a situation where, I think it was last year, a driver saw smoke, smelled, pulled over, evacuated her bus, the kids left. And there was nothing wrong with the engine. There was just smoke coming from the engine. So she lost her kids, they all left. And then they got back up. They called their parents. They called their parents, they got someone to pick them up, they kind of moved on, they lost their kids. You do not need to evacuate your bus at that. Again, you're assessing the situation, okay? You don't have to evacuate, don't evacuate. The kids should be in the bus with you. If you did have to evacuate, are the kids allowed to leave?
No.
Never. Nope, you evacuate with them, you stay with them, and they are not allowed to leave. Doesn't matter if the parents are disgruntled. I understand where you have to go, but you have to be assessed. If, say there was a fire, we have to assess them to make sure that they weren't hurt in the process. Correct, head count, everything, yes. So, is anybody in here from the office? Mary, can you go get Kelly?
Yeah. Yes.
Thank you. Backing. Say you're backing on Elm, and a parent comes out to help you because you can't get around, there's cars blocking you. Are we trusting our parents?
No.
What are we doing?
Calling banks.
Walk to the back of the bus, you're gonna slowly back up, inch it, come back, move it, inch it, back up, move it. Or Jeremy and Fidel, they don't have enough of you. We would love to send them out to you. And they will help you back up. Okay? Otherwise, if we have a sub. I know Elm Street has been a big issue, but that's gonna change next year. I said that a couple times. So, Elm Road. It's Elm. You know it's Elm
You're such a joke. Oh, only you could do that. Only you.
Are we good?
Yeah.
What's gonna happen on Elm, you're talking?
We are not gonna go down there anymore. So we're gonna have them come down to us. So-
At 38 now?
There's no difference in picking up on 38 at the Christmas tree house. There's no difference in picking up at the building just after Elm. We pick up a student at that one. We pick up on on State Street, right in front of the meat place for one of the students. So again, there's many stops on 38 that we stop at, so
The speed limit's higher.
I get it, but again, not even a half a block from Elm to that one house, we stop.
Yeah.
So,
That's not a great stop either. Sorry, they're bad stops. Yeah, fading stops are bad too.
correct? Geneva's got a lot of bad stops, and they don't build sidewalks.
So where are we gonna turn around and get pointed in the right direction?
That's my challenge. So I gotta figure that out over the summer. So. I am more than welcome to take suggestions. Okay, I know that I've never driven a route, so even when I do routing, I ask Kelly, what's the best option? If you were the driver, where would you want to go? So I don't do it to be a mean person. I don't try to do it to make challenging decisions. So if you have suggestions, I will take them before the routes are out. I know that I say, no, I'm not changing them once they're done, because if it's challenging after that, not that I won't do it, but again, I do try my best. So if you have suggestions beforehand, I will take them. Okay, so my challenge is to figure out how I can get the kids at the corner or down by Elm, so we don't have to do the 3-point turn. Because sometimes we don't have the ability to turn around down there, okay?
So that means that route would have to go up and around through the industrial park to have the door on the right?
So, I mean, I have to break some of those routes anyway, so we pick up some families on the right-hand side anyways on Kirk. So instead of trying to cross 2 lanes to make a left to go to Kirkwood, we're gonna turn right, go to the industrial, and then pick up the other kids. So, there's options out there, but we'll figure it out over the summer. Say that again?
Furniture shop right there, Geneva, whatever it is.
All good.
Home Goods.
So, I'll look into it. All right. The monitor is managing escalating behaviors. What's the driver doing?
Reporting the base.
Drive.
The driver's gonna keep on driving unless it becomes an unsafe situation. Okay, if the monitor is good at their job and they're able to de-escalate the situation, driver's just gonna keep on driving. But what are you gonna do when you get back? Write it up. Write it up. I need to know so that I can talk to the caseworkers and student services and then assess the situation, and maybe there's something else different that we need to do to help the students.
Do we write up OR or conduct?
It's up to you and what you guys were doing. Did you guys escalate? Okay, I'm not saying you guys, but was he escalated because you were, continuously asked him to stay seated? And then that's how it escalated? Was he just standing quietly and you kept telling him to stop, but that was his way of coping, and then it escalated? So again, depending on what he was doing, if he or she were screaming and talking to the student 2 seats behind, escalating that one, again, it just all depends on what the situation is, that you would either write a UOR or if you would write a behavioral one. So it's always about assessing the situation and then reporting it. Okay? What if it escalates to where it's an unsafe situation? Okay, if I tell you to stay there and not to move, are you going to make the decision to leave on your own anyways, once you've got it settled? Because I may already be on my way, student services may be on their way, or if it got to the point where the police are already on their way, I'm gonna have you stop. If we ask you guys to stop and stay somewhere, then you stop and you stay somewhere. If you ask for help assistance in a 3-point turn or to get through traffic on a side road, we prefer you to stay there, be late, delayed, whatever, and keep the buses in one piece and no scratches or anything like that. So, just stay where you are until we get there to assist you.
For anyone backing up, you're telling us we're not allowed to use the public for assistance?
You gotta use your best judgment, because we used a landscaping company one time to do that, and we had to go replace someone's mailbox. So they're not always the smartest tool to use. So again, we were gonna tell you, no. Because again, the landscaping company is not the one who replaced the mailbox or paid for anything, we did. So if we can come out there to you and assist you, I'd rather it be us, because if it was my fault, then again, the company's paying for it and not a landscaping or somebody else. So I would say no, please don't use that. That's why we usually say that we're gonna send Fidel, Jeremy, one of us, somebody else there for you. Personal experience with the person, so that happened, I think, last year or 2 years ago. All right, spot the failure game. I'm gonna say something, you tell me what the failure was and how we're gonna fix it. The driver rolls through a level crossing due to routine familiarity. What do we do? What they do wrong and how do you fix it? Sounds dumb, but people do it all the time.
Rolls through a railroad crossing?
Yeah, they didn't stop, they just kept on going. Easiest way to fix it is to stop and don't get complacent. Okay? Maybe a dumb question for me to ask, but complacency happens all the time. So, I mean, we all go through railroad crossings, and what did Matt talk about last month when that bus stopped right just on the tracks? Okay? So, when it comes to railroad crossings, some people don't even think they need to stop because there's trees growing through them. Again, over there in Elgin. Okay? So, it could be a new driver, it could be an old driver, you know, you're running late for your route, the train never comes through, I'm gonna keep on going. No one's gonna catch me, no one's gonna see anything, I'm just gonna keep on going. It happens. The monitor is distracted by her phone during a calm ride. What's the failure in that? Okay, what can happen with her being on the phone? I know it's calm right now, but what can happen? Students choking, students falling out of their safety harness. Student can start escalating and you miss it. If you have a medical student, they can start seizing, you wouldn't know it. So technically, when you're on the bus, whether your students are calm or not, you're supposed to be off your phone. Okay, drivers can't be on the phone while they're driving, so that's their job. Your job is to be monitoring the students. You can't be on your phone either. Everything I'm talking about has got nothing to do with anybody did anything wrong. This is not a negative situation, that's why I'm not specifically calling anybody out. Okay, it's just reviewing on scenarios and what would you do to fix them. A driver relies only on the backup camera while reversing. You don't, but the small buses do. There are new small buses that have backup cameras now. So yes, we do have some cameras. But again, same thing with your car, you're gonna either, I wouldn't rely on it, use our mirrors. Always use your mirrors. The monitor gives vague commands instead of direct instructions. What's the failure in that and how do we fix it? Say louder.
I said give direct instructions.
Like what?
You guys need to sit down if it's one student say, Jeremy, sit down. We don't have to.
We just use Jeremy's name all the time. It's causing a whole bunch of trouble. Okay? So again, giving direct instructions. Do we want to give them more than one instruction at a time?
No.
Okay? You do not want to go, if you're on the bus as a monitor, you're more than likely there where they can't take more than one command at a time. They need to give you two, but again, you want to give them time to process their thoughts before moving on to the next command. Let's see. Bus doors open before a full stop. We have a lot of doors that don't work properly. Sometimes they don't open when they're supposed to open, the stop sign doesn't come out. Sometimes they stay open, they don't close. But if we're pre-tripping our buses and we're writing them up, we'll get you new buses. I know sometimes, like at early dismissals, we just use all buses that we possibly can. But we shouldn't be taking any bus that has the doors not working or functioning properly. They shouldn't be on the road. Driver rushes the route due to being behind on schedule. What can happen?
Lose your focus.
Yeah.
You're missing your turn, you're gonna cause an accident. What about miss students?
Oh, yeah, you could miss a few.
You can miss a few.
Usually.
There was a situation last week where a student stabbed some other kid 16 times with a pencil. The monitor and the bus driver didn't do nothing. What are you supposed to do?
Was that your route?
Where did that
Sorry, I
happen?
got carried away.
Oh, yeah.
Where did that happen, Lyman?
I just heard about it this morning, and it's an undisclosed place, but it was supposed to be in a high suburban area, and they're not saying. But the parents, I guess, for some reason, the monitor and the bus driver didn't do anything, and it was a Down syndrome kid that was getting stabbed, screaming and screaming for help, and nobody did. So it's supposed to be disclosed over the weekend.
Right.
And I just found out, and that's all I know.
So in that situation, obviously, I don't know why the monitor and driver didn't do anything, but at that point, you're gonna be pulling over, securing your bus, and trying to get that one student off. Somebody would be calling dispatch.
But you're okay with grabbing that person when it's life-threatening like that?
I would.
Okay.
I know we're not supposed to
I know
grab
I
them,
would
but
too.
at the same time, this person's stabbing them. So again, you're saving, yes. I'm putting chokehold. We're not chokeholding. But again, just, some of the students, okay, they're gonna be very strong, okay? They are very strong students, okay? So you're gonna do your best your ability. If anything, just get the pencil out of that kid's hand. That's your priority, is get the weapon out of their hand. And then obviously make sure you don't get hurt either. But again, so someone's on the radio getting help. Monitor obviously is gonna be the one getting the pencil out of the student's hand, and then separating the students, and then assessing the one that is injured. But I don't know, I'd have to see the whole story of what they were doing and watch the video and everything but again, I would ask, what was the monitor doing prior to the student stabbing the other student? Okay, were they on their phone? Were they talking to the driver? Were they not watching the students at all? Was there something that the monitor could have noticed? Was there an antecedent? Was there something that was causing the situation? Okay, so again, you got to see everything that's leading up to it. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So if there's any emergency, you want me to assess the situation and then call dispatch, get assistance. But somebody should have gotten that weapon out of the student. It's a pencil, but it's a weapon at that point. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do, but you don't want to physically hurt the other students either. So, the driver doesn't secure the bus before assisting a student. Failure in that and how to fix it. So it's happened. Before I came here and I worked at the preschool, we were on a field trip and I had 3 and 4-year-olds. The driver didn't secure the bus, and as the students were getting on the bus started rolling. Okay, so I don't know how long the driver was on. He never drove our bus again because obviously I'm a local person and complained about that person as soon as I got back. But again, it happens. So, and the situation is, were you rushing? Was the driver rushing? I don't know. Why wasn't the bus secured? Okay, so making sure that we are securing our buses before the students are getting on or off the bus. Keeps you guys safe, keep them safe. And then students crossing too close to the front of the bus. You gotta talk to them. Is your crossing arm working? I know one of our drivers was driving with it sticking out during the winter time, so we knew it was working, it was out there, but it wasn't closing either. Okay? On the activity buses, those coaches like to close that stop arm, or the crossing arm, and I tell them they need to stop because we teach the students to walk that far out of the bus. Okay, so even on the activity buses, it's still teaching them, but in front of our buses, they have to walk out that far. Okay, So. And that's it. We're gonna keep going. Driver skips post-trip inspection. Is everybody familiar in that? What can go wrong?
Some kid could be in there.
You got a sleeper, but I sure hope you catch that sleeper before you do your post-trip, because you should have done your child check. So you're not supposed to do your child check here, you're supposed to clear your bus before you get back here. But again, you can have a sleeper. So if you don't do your post-trip, okay, what else could happen? Not doing your post-trip.
There's stuff on a computer, anything.
Something could be leaking.
Something could be leaking. Okay? The monitor assumes the driver will handle all discipline. Vice versa. The driver assumes the monitor is going to handle everything. What's the problem in that? It's not the way it works, correct? It's not the way it works. You work as a team. Okay? Yes, they can start the situation handling that, but at the same time, if the driver's needed, or vice versa, maybe the monitor needs to, again, you work as a team, you never rely on one or the other. Also with that is, the monitor is not going to assume that the driver is securing the students, and the driver is not assuming that the monitor is securing. What if the monitor is ill that day, she's just not feeling well? First of all, she shouldn't be here, because if her mental state is not there, she should not be securing our students. However, our drivers, again, that's your license, you're risking that by not checking what the monitor is doing. Okay, so work as a team, not against each other. The driver hesitates calling dispatch during uncertainty. What can happen with that?
During what? Uncertainty?
Yeah, an uncertainty. Meaning like, I don't know if dispatch wants to hear me complain again today. This is what's happening. I think I can get past this vehicle. I think I got this 3-point turn. I don't need assistance. Uncertainty. Students.
It sounds prudent. I mean, it sounds like if you're uncertain, if it's not, then it's nothing.
Correct. So at the same time, it could be absolutely nothing. I didn't bother dispatch. I didn't bother Kelly. She keeps on going about her day. You go about your day. But what if it wasn't?
Well, then you call them.
But you hesitate. If you the whole idea is if you hesitate, you're delaying in the you're delaying. Okay. What if it was the kid having a seizure or got hurt or anything like that? You hesitating, that's delaying getting assistance. Okay. When in doubt, call. Thank you, Marvin. Okay. So yes, not every time you need to call and bother anybody, but yes, when in doubt, call. No, we're gonna do that one. I'd rather do something more fun. Emergency equipment is not checked regularly. What can happen with that? We had the fire people come out every time, so they're supposed to be there twice a year. But if you don't check it and it's empty, for whatever reason, there's a slow leak in there. Driver forgets to count the students after the stop. What can happen? Okay. All right. Before I move on to the next fun part, I think it's fun, I don't know if you will. Can you all do me a favor? Before the end of the week, anonymously write down one safety habit that you've become complacent with, and how do you plan on fixing it next year? Anonymously, I don't need to know you. I just want every single person to write one habit that you've become complacent with and how you want to fix it next year. And then on the same thing, I want you to tell me something that you would like to be discussed in a safety meeting. Okay? I can go over the same thing every year. I try not to. As you know, I did not reuse everything I used last year. It's different than this year. But again, one thing, because 3 months ago I asked Sue Ann, what do you want me to talk about? And she's the one who gave me the idea. So 2 things. One thing you want to work on that you become complacent with, and then an idea for next year's safety meeting. Yes, Amanda.
Where do you want things? How do you want these?
Write it, email it, I don't care.
And put it where?
You can put it on my desk when I walk away. You can put it in that black bin right over there.
Okay, just,
Suggestion box?
If you want, I could put a box out there in the front window and you can put it in the suggestion box. However you want.
I just wanted to.
But I should get at least 70 plus papers. Okay? Alright. So, everybody keeps talking about what a randomizer is. What's a randomizer?
I could go random number.
Okay, so, field trips. The start of each round, Kelly, I'll take that one now, I'm done. So whoever's on it's on it. So, when you do field trips, if a driver is here, the driver has to count how many people bid on those field trips. We take that number and we put it in here, and then that's how I find out who we start with, okay? It's based on seniority. I have a seniority list right here. It looks like this. I know it's tiny, nothing ever gets seen up there, okay? So, I went through and I've got 5 things that I did for the randomizer for this year. I'm gonna show you how it works, okay? So, out of all the drivers, only 39 drivers have done field trips this year. Okay? It's actually 41, but 2 people haven't been here. So, it's out of 39. So, I'm asking for one number between 1 and 39.
32.
30. Okay? So with that being said, okay, so 30. Good. Just double check the 30th person. That's highlighted.
That's highlighted.
Yep. The highlighted people are the ones who did a field trip.
That did it, yeah, or that get it?
Signed up. Well, actually the ones who actually did one.
For that particular week or all?
For this school year.
Okay.
From August 15th or 18th, the week that we started, until this week. If you did a field trip, that's what I'm doing, okay? Go ahead. Okay. So, Stacy White, again, random, Stacy White's gonna get a gift card. Okay? This is out of my money. Okay? So I took it out of my money and I got 10 gift cards. I'm giving 5 away today, I'm giving 5 away tomorrow.
It's over.
Okay? 5 today, 5 tomorrow. So technically, if you're on the field trip list, you can win, somebody else can win it tomorrow. I'm doing the exact same thing with the other group for tomorrow, okay? So if you get one tomorrow, then we'll let you know. Okay. I did not keep it. I want it completely fresh. I don't want to cheat at all.
Brandy,
Yes?
is the summer field trips the same process?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Monitors, they don't do field trips. So I have 6 monitors. I can't just do one for the drivers and not the monitors. So we're just gonna do 6 monitors.
Odds are better, here's your favorite.
All right, so as the seniority, Rick. What's number 1?
Lucky day.
This is how the randomizer works. Kelly and I cannot fudge this. We cannot do anything to rig it. It literally is, I ask for a number, and this is where I start. What's the next one? Anybody who helped us throughout the year. So our extra middays, if we needed you to help us cover our route in the afternoon, so like Claudia and Sandra, they have Mill Creek, or they're done with their sale route by 3 o'clock and they help us with the middle school route or a high school route. So, or you bid on extra middays when we have those one students to do the shuttles. So we had 27 drivers. Only the highlighted ones count the number 18. Claudia? Sit. So Claudia gets it. Kelly took my other sheet. Just because, so tomorrow you guys could have won it. I don't know, I'm just gonna just randomize you. Perfect attendance up until today. Okay? We have four people with perfect attendance
For this year?
for this year.
It's not me.
It is Jim Millay, Bobby Brown. If I would have done it at the end of the month, it would be different, but Jim Millay, Bobby Brown, Kevin Kennedy, and Sally. Number 2, it's Bobby.
Is it for a For Vinny?
All right, one more. I had Kelly come in here so that if you participated in the meeting, if you shared thoughts, if you shared something, she highlighted your name, and that's how I'm gonna do the last one. So if you participated today, you can possibly win one.
The lovely assistant.
Oh, Vanna.
Sorry, I have to count.
Just one in the story.
Somebody can share a story.
Everybody's like to sit
Dave. All right, so that, any questions on the randomizer? So no one's gonna question me and Kelly next year? It is completely random, so whoever, we're not making it up, we're not giving it to anybody, okay? When we do it tomorrow, if you win, we'll put it in your mailbox, but no, you can't go. So if you wanna take out a piece of paper, and if you wanna write up right now, what I ask you to do.
Take out a piece of paper.
Yep, if you don't have paper, I can get you some, but if you guys can write up what I asked you to do, which is something that you've become complacent with, and then you wanna fix it, and then one idea for next year's safety meeting.